Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, or if you are new here, hi, hello, my name is Miguel, but some people call me Milo, and today we are going to be reacting to the video Living with BIID. I want to cut off my leg. This is from the channel Truly. We have reacted to one of their videos before. I believe it was Woman Wants to Become Paralyzed or something like that. You can see on this channel, and I believe I linked down their channel in the description below. But yeah, so I believe now that I've kind of researched more of the actual mental disorder, it's weird seeing a man trying to do that, but I mean, usually it's more women that like try to, destroy their body. Um, but anyway, so comment down below your thoughts on this. I'm not sure. I'm hoping that he isn't like the other woman and is like, oh wow, I'm going to drive into something, so like I have to be, my leg has to be amputated. But yeah, we'll see. So this is I Want to Cut Off My Leg by Truly.
The leg, I'd like it to be amputated. That's what I perceive to be my end goal. BIID is shortened for Body Integrity Identity Disorder, in which it's a condition where the brain doesn't recognise an aspect of the body. For me, the map stops on the right leg 3 inches from the hip. It manifests in an itch. It would be the equivalent of someone who is whole growing an extra limb. It does not belong there.
Before he came out to me with it, I didn't even know about BID. It felt like someone was coming out to me as gay or trans. I could see how important it was for him and how nervous he was. My first thoughts were, that's unbelievable that my friend is having to go through this.
I've tried myself a few times by injecting medical grade alcohol into the limb, but there was intense pain. More pain than I anticipated, because you could actually feel the alcohol drying up the muscles. There was a sense of feeling of success. You couldn't move it, but after 8 hours, it was fine. I got put in contact with a man who was regarded as what's called a gatekeeper, and he knows the names of surgeons who are willing to do an amputation for a set fee, and what they would do then is they would give you documentation to say it was an accident. I paid the...
Okay. I like how he isn't, well, from what I could see, he isn't trying to put anyone else in danger with this. And like I said in the other video, I do not mind or really care what anyone does as long as they are trying to hurt people. I can like tell this guy is really struggling, and what he doesn't get is he gets a glimpse of no, I'm not paralyzed. I'm not I'm what they consider like an incomplete, I guess. But I personally, and I'm an amputee, but I do have friends who are below the knee amputees and also below the hip amputees. I think because how they explain it is it's like so much pain, because like you can't move your leg and you can't really do that just because the limb has already started to kind of die, I guess. So you can't move it, which I think he got a glimpse of that when he said it is really painful. I like how his friend did say it is kind of like when someone comes out as gay or trans, because it is like really important to them. I don't really like when people put the gay and trans people into these topics, just because it's not, well, I guess in my mind it's not a full medical disorder. But I can tell with this guy, he's not like the other lady where he's trying to put someone else in danger, which is really, it doesn't make me frustrated with him just because I know he's not going to try to put someone in danger. I still find it really frustrating that doctors are willing to do this without, and like just saying like, oh, it was an accident. Because again, I don't believe doctors should be doing that unless like it's an actual physical thing that's happening or it's actually causing someone pain. But like I said, as long as no one is trying to get hurt in this situation, I am completely okay with it.
This man, in total just shy 20 grand, turned out to be a massive scam. Last year, I was in a very dark place, and it culminated in me trying to jump in front of a train. I think what led me to feel was the sense of isolation and alienation, not being able to talk to anyone, constantly having to put on a mask.
I think him being hard of hearing is, I think,
in terms of pretending,
it makes
I
it a
try
little
to
bit
do it
more okay.
at least once a day, if not longer.
Oh, I can't imagine the leg cramps he gets after that.
I feel a lot better, and I get to see myself as I would be or should be, rather than as I am.
I know walking with crutches sucks.
It's a peculiar condition known since around 1970, in which a perfectly healthy individual with no physical damage, no psychiatric problem, quite early in childhood starts to desire a different body. Okay, so when you are ready you can start. With Nick we did some experiments on emotional processing. With results, what we see is a clear pattern, and it shows that there is a different emotional processing in relation to the representation of the body. The life risk which is associated with BID is really extreme. We should try to understand what can we do for these individuals, because it's not fair to be suffering like this and to put your life at risk.
Meeting Anna today was really good. She was able to reconfirm things for me and put a name to a lot of things as well. And I look forward to speaking with her again and seeing what she comes up with in the terms of treatment. If the choice came for an amputation, I would jump at the opportunity. That's the only way I can see the itch would stop.
If Nick could have his leg removed by a surgeon, safely, by a qualified surgeon, I would be behind him 110%. I hope Nick's future will be where he can just be himself.
I'd like to start living again, but I'd also like to work with people with BID and help them either cope with it or get the help it needs. And you've got the people who do have it in the sense of they're not alone.
I like that one. It's not like, it doesn't make me frustrated like with the lady that's in the wheelchair. Now, it does kind of make me a little bit frustrated just because I do have friends that actually have it and they say it kind of sucks. I see the struggles that my friends face with having, like an amputation. But at the same time, he's doing it safely. He's not being reckless and he's not putting other people in danger. And he's also willing to go through therapy and trying to be able to like get himself better instead of jumping to amputation or anything like that. And I'm glad that he's doing it a more logical way, and I actually like that a lot. And I like how he understands, and I think him being hard of hearing makes him understand more because he's already, like disabled. I like that one. There's no judgment on that one, again, because he's not trying to put anyone else in danger, and he's actually trying to go the logical routes without immediately jumping to that. And I really like that. And I like how his friend is there and he is understanding where his friend is coming from, where it's like, okay, well, if it was a surgeon who was actually qualified to do this and you could go the safe route, then go ahead. Which is all everyone, like any loved one, would say, is like, as long as you're going the safe route, no one really cares in that sense. But yeah, go ahead and comment down below your thoughts on this one. I do understand, and yes, I'm not an amputee, but again, I have had leg problems ever since I was a kid. I have had to use crutches, leg braces, walkers, wheelchairs. It does suck and it is really hard, but I mean, no one really gets a choice in it. And if he understands that he does get a choice in it and he is going the logical route, again, I have no problems with that. As long as everyone is safe, as long as you aren't putting other people in danger, I do not mind what you do. And I like the way he is explaining and going through therapy. And it's a really good, this one was really good. It's way better than the last one that we reacted to. We are going to be reacting to another Living with BIID by the channel Truly, and this one is I Made Myself Blind. I'm not entirely sure on this one. I do have some input. I am blind in my left eye. When I close my right eye and I try to look through the left eye, I can't see anything except for some objects, and otherwise it's just really blurry. So I'm not entirely blind, but I mean, I did lose vision in my left eye, and the doctor said I'm probably never getting that back. So yeah, so we are going to go into this one. I'm not sure if it's going to be like the first woman. I'm hoping not, because if you're blind, you can't necessarily put others in danger, and but yeah, my whole thing is, as long as you aren't putting other people in danger, I do not care what you do.
I went blind on purpose, but I don't feel it was a choice.
For most people, going blind would be a nightmare. But for Jewel Chooping, it was the fulfillment of a lifelong dream. She suffers from a rare condition called body integrity identity disorder, which led her to deliberately take her own sight.
When there's nobody around you that feels the same way, you start to think that you're just very crazy. I don't think I'm crazy. I think I have a disorder. BIID means that you have a need to be disabled in some way. In my case, it was a need to go blind.
9 years ago, Jewel took the drastic decision to blind herself, and she researched the method she would use.
I found that lye is very painful, although it does get the job done. I found that drain cleaner is a little less painful, although it does a lot of damage to the eye. Because drain cleaner was easily available to me, I went with that.
She found a psychologist willing to help her, and after 2 weeks of working together to make sure she was ready, they carried out Jewel's plan.
Okay. Ow. Just ow. God dang. Okay. My thoughts on this. I feel bad for her. This is not like the first lady. I'm so glad it's not like the first lady. But my whole thing is, why would the doctors and psychologists be okay with this? I mean, like, yes, do whatever the patient needs to do. Like, you're getting paid either way, but like, only 2 weeks? I feel like, because the other guy that we reacted to, he was willing to go through years and years of therapy just to make sure it was okay. And that's the only way that he would be able to do what he needed to do, is go through years and years of therapy. She only went through 2 weeks. I feel bad for her because, like, through years and years of therapy and understanding everything, you can change your mind. But only 2 weeks, your mind is still set on whatever you want to do. Like, if I wanted to be like, if I wanted to fully transition, only after 2 weeks, my mind would still be on it. But through years and years of therapy and me understanding, even now, me understanding the complications, and along with a lot of the disabilities that I have, I can't do it. I can transition socially by using he and pronouns, the name change and all that. But medically, I need to still be identified as a woman, which my doctors identify me as what I want to be called, but they are still going to tell me, everything that I have wrong with me as a woman, just because, like, a lot of the stuff that I have it worse because I am a biological woman. Now, if I went through years and years of therapy, like I said, I could, and even now, I understand if I were to medically transition, I would have a lot more problems and I wouldn't be getting the medical attention that I would need now just because I'm considered a male and I'm not. And I kind of feel bad for her because what if she went through, like, now that she's fully lost her sight, what if she was thinking back and she was like, well, this isn't really what I want anymore? That's not something that she can go back from. Like, I feel like someone needed to help her more than just 2 weeks. I feel bad for her. And I've gotten soap in my eye. It was a complete baby for the rest of the night. I can't imagine drain cleaner or anything else. I got bug spray in my eye. Don't ask. I don't know how. But I got bug spray in my eye. And that burns. I can't imagine drain cleaner or bleach or. Oh, that hurt. Yeah, that must have hurt.
I laid down on the sofa and he sat next to me. Dropped 2 drops into each eye. My eyes were screaming. I had some drain cleaner going down my cheek, burning my skin. In the moment, all I could think of was, I'm going blind. It's going to be okay.
After waiting half an hour to make sure the damage was done, the psychologist took Jewel to hospital, where doctors fought to save her sight.
When I woke up the following day, I was joyful until I turned on my back, opened my eyes, and could see the TV screen. I was...
Oh God. The doctor did it? Or psychologists, are they considered doctors? Actually? They must be, like, considered something medically. I don't understand what they're... Just a psychologist? Really? Okay. I feel bad for her because she went through that and she could still see. I'm so glad. Man, if I hear that she stabbed herself in the eye with a fork or something, I'm going to lose it because I feel so bad for her. Her medical team should have fought harder and told her, like, the complications that she would have. Oh God, I feel bad. And my eyes are hurting now.
Enraged, and I thought that it hadn't worked. Then over about 6 months, the sight in both eyes slowly went away. I was so happy. I felt that this was who I was supposed to be.
While Jewel was happy, her actions cost her her relationship with her family. But this was something she'd been building up to throughout her life.
I first developed the idea that I need to be blind when I was around 6 years old. I was told by my mother that if I looked into the sun, I'd go blind, and so I stared into the sun for hours on end. Thinking about being blind.
Okay, I'm sorry that I'm pausing this so much, but can that actually make you go blind? Did I just stare into the sun with only my left eye, like my entire childhood? Mine is caused because my I think that some of the nerves in my eyeball did not fully like, what's the word? Did not fully, I was about to say generate. The nerves in my eye did not fully generate, apparently, because that's what they did not fully develop. That's what that freaking word is. That's the reason my eye doctor gave me, is because the nerves in my eye did not fully develop, and that's why I also have a lazy eye in my left eye. And it's the same with my brother, except more of his did not fully develop. Mine is not caused from looking into the sun. Now, I can look into the sun, obviously, without my eyes burning, but this eye is still okay. I don't do it all the time, but I mean, it's still okay. I feel so bad for her. And so what I'm getting is, basically, if the family did not know that she did this and she just went blind from an accident, they would cut her off? Seems like a pretty fucked up family to me. Okay, I'm gonna stop pausing this now so you guys can actually watch it.
Comfortable. I was blind simming, which is pretending to be blind. Becoming blind was definitely a difficult decision to make. I tried to avoid it, but it kept coming up in my head, and by the time I was 21, it was a non-stop alarm that was going off.
As extreme as Jules' case sounds, she is not alone. Dr. Michael First is a leading expert on the condition. He even coined the term BIID to describe it.
A lot of people who have this just live with it, but they don't take that step of actually actualizing it. But a significant minority of people with this have the feeling so strongly that they will go and do something to make it happen. Our job is to reduce suffering however it's possible. The question is, what can be done? People have tried therapy, they've tried medication. None of those have really been successful. The ethics of whether it is okay to take a normal person and make them disabled is, I think you could make it an ethical case that if you conceptualize this as treating a condition, then it's okay to do it. The big fear, of course, is somebody goes ahead and gets an amputation and becomes disabled and then changes their mind. I'd like to encourage people to do what makes sense to make them feel better, but this is such a drastic move that it's hard to encourage.
Initially apprehensive, Jewel has now told her friends in the blind community about how she took her own sight.
I told her that I didn't care, that I think there's no resentment for her voluntarily taking her eyesight. That's not who I am.
I just don't think I've ever known anyone who had that condition. I think there's a lot understood in the medical community, but I'm sure that by what happened to you, it will be helpful to somebody else.
Hey Joel, how's it going?
Oh, hi y'all. Does this affect our friendship at all?
No, actually, I want to thank you for sharing it with me. I think it's a really inspiring story, actually, because you've overcome a lot here. You're a very positive person. You contribute a lot to the blind community, and I think that's a great thing.
Now, Jewel hopes her story will help other people in her position and lead to a wider understanding of BIID.
These days, I have no regrets. I'm very happy as a blind person. If somebody's out there with the same feelings as I have, I would say don't go blind the way I did. I know there's a need, but perhaps someday there'll be treatment for it. And just wait for that treatment if you can. If you feel that you have to, at least talk to a psychiatrist. Try to get somebody who knows what they're doing to help you. Don't do it for yourself because it's dangerous. That's why I'm getting my story out there to help people understand BIID and what it is and what is not.
Okay. I just feel so bad for her because the medical field failed her so fucking bad, and I feel so bad for her because I feel like they should have helped her more than just 2 weeks and then pouring or like dropping stuff into her eyes. Like, I understand as okay, I'm going into the medical field, but I'm going to be an ultrasound tech. I'm not necessarily going to be like a doctor or nurse. I understand helping people is your goal. Like, help them and make them feel comfortable, but it comes to a point where you gotta like understand as a medical professional, you have to help someone, but you also got to recommend them to like therapy, and not just 2 weeks of therapy. Like, I think the minimum therapy that they should do for this type of stuff, 2 years at least. And max, like 6 years. Because over that time, they may change their mind. Like she said in this, they may change their mind and regret everything. And you can't go back from that. Just like with the guy, he can't go back from chopping off his limb. He's not going to be like a lizard and make his limb come back. And I just feel bad for both of these people. Now, I kind of felt bad for the lady that wanted to be paralyzed. Because just coming from a person who, one, doctors were talking about chopping off my freaking leg because I have tumors on my legs. Like, I understand the fear of that, but also they like made it to where they weren't going to do that just because, like I've said, my legs have gotten a little bit better through physical therapy, and they've also recommended me to therapists, and they've made it clear that if they were going to do anything, I needed to be okay with it, and I needed to go through a little bit of therapy just so then, but then again, it's not my choice that I want to do this. So I think for people like this, the medical professionals need to be better. They need to like explain more to these people, because if these people actually have a mental disorder, just like with autism, like with I have the oh my god, I have a stutter. The doctors think that I may no, I do have autism. And when I don't understand something, they could see that, so they explain it to me a little bit differently, a way that I can explain it or I can understand it. So I think they need to, more medical professionals need to be like that, where they can explain it to where the patient will understand. And I think even more with this, because this is obviously a mental disorder. But they also need to understand, like, they need to do something better, because I'm not mad with these last two people. I'm not frustrated with them because they aren't putting anyone in danger. I'm more mad at the medical professionals because, yeah, with the first guy, he is offered years and he wants to go through years of therapy. But with this lady, it's like they didn't even try. Like, they didn't try at all to help her. And I feel so bad. But Yeah, comment down below your thoughts on this video. My thoughts are I'm just frustrated with the medical professionals. I'm not frustrated with these last two people because they have more common sense than the last girl. But I am so frustrated with medical professionals because it just seems unprofessional to do this. So, yeah, comment down below your thoughts on this video. Again, you can comment down below videos that you guys would like me to do. I do vlogs, reaction videos, morning, night routine, cooking, cleaning, gaming, all the above on this channel. Also go over to my other channel, Sparrow Wolf Horror. I do creepypastas, and I just upload the same reaction videos I upload on this channel to that one as well. You guys can comment down below your own personal experience with the paranormal, story you wrote, or just a story you want to hear me read. I love hearing your guys' suggestions. But yeah, I Made Myself Blind, living with BID. Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.